For years, I was doing everything right, posting valuable content, showing up consistently, serving my audience with my whole heart. And people would tell me, Salime, this is amazing. I learned so much. Thank you. But when I offered something for sale, crickets. No sales, no signups, just silence. I would lie awake wondering, what am I doing wrong? Why won't they buy? Don't they trust me? Then I discovered something that changed everything. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I was asking for the sale at the wrong moment. There's an invisible path every person walks before they ever pull out their credit card. And most entrepreneurs have no idea it exists. Today, I'm showing you the path, step by step, so you stop guessing and start converting. Welcome to Freedom to Follow. I'm Salime, your behind-the-scenes mentor for digital businesses that fund your obedience to Christ. If this is your first time here, I help faith-driven Latinas build digital businesses that create income without sacrificing family or burning out. I've been doing this for over 20 years and across 3 continents. Stick around and you'll see why. Everything we talk about comes with a practical exercise waiting for you at www.latinpreneurs.com/the vault. And if you're one of my regulars, welcome back. You already know what we're about, so let's get into it. Let me ask you something, hermana. Have you ever poured out your heart into creating something, a course, a service, a template, a coaching offer, and then shared it with your audience only to hear nothing? You know the feeling. You hit publish on your sales post, you send the email announcing your offer, you tell people about your new thing, and then you wait. You check your inbox, nothing. You check your payment notifications, nothing. You refresh it, still nothing. And this ugly voice starts whispering, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe no one actually wants what I'm selling. Maybe this whole thing is a mistake. I've been there more times than I can count. Early in my platforms, I remember creating what I thought was the perfect offer. I had spent weeks on it. I was genuinely helping. I knew this could transform someone's situation. So I shared it with my audience, with people who have been following me, engaging with my content, thanking for helping me. 0 downloads, 0 sales, not one, not even from people who had told me that they loved my content. I was devastated. I started questioning everything. Was my offer bad? Was my price wrong? Was I just not cut for this? But then I learned something that changed my entire perspective. The problem was not my offer. The problem was not my audience. The problem was my timing. I was asking people to buy when they weren't ready to buy. See, I thought because somebody followed me, they trusted me. I thought that because someone liked my content, they were ready to pay. I thought that because somebody said, this is so helpful, they were ready to invest. But following is not trust, liking is not readiness, and appreciation is not action. There's a whole invisible journey people have to walk before they're ready to pull out their credit card. And if you don't understand that journey, if you're asking for the sale at the wrong moment, it does not matter how good your offer is. They just won't buy it. Not because they don't want to, not because they don't like you, but because they're not ready yet. And here's what nobody tells you. This is not a rejection of you. It is just the reality of how human beings make decisions. So let's talk about that journey. And as always, I want to go to scripture first because God's word has something profound to teach us about how to build trust and why people ask for commitment before they have earned it. So we have a great example in the Bible in Nehemiah chapter 2. Here's a context. Nehemiah is in Persia, serving as a cupbearer for the king. He had sworn that Jerusalem's walls are destroyed, that the gates are burned, and that his people are living in disgrace. His heart breaks. He weeps. He prays. And then God opens a door for him to go back and rebuild. But watch what Nehemiah does when he arrives in Jerusalem, because this is where most of us would get it wrong. He does not show up and immediately starts recruiting. He does not gather everyone and says, hey, God told me to rebuild the wall. Who's in? He does not post a reel saying, big announcement coming. No, If you look at verse 12, he arrives in Jerusalem and tells no one what God had put in his heart to do. In verse 13, he goes out at night alone and surveys the damage, the broken walls, the burned gates, the rubble. He understood the problem deeply before he could say a word. He walked through their pain. He saw what their everyday was like. He didn't assume he knew. He made sure he knew. And then, and only then, does he gather the people. Verse 17, you see the trouble we are in. Jerusalem lies in ruins, and its gates have been burned with fire. Come, let us rebuild the wall of Jerusalem, and we will no longer be in disgrace. Now notice what he does here. He names the pain. You see the trouble we are in. He's not talking at them. He's standing with them. He is saying, I see what you see. I understand what you're living in. This is our problem. And then he casts a vision. Come, let's rebuild, and we will no longer be in disgrace. He shows them what's possible on the other side. But he does not stop there. Verse 18, he gives them proof. I also told them about the gracious hand of my God on me and what the king has said to me. He shares his story. He shows evidence that this isn't just a crazy idea, that God has already been moving, that the king has already approved it, that provision is already in place. And then comes the invitation. And look at the response. Let us start rebuilding. They said yes, not because Nehemiah pressured them, not because he manipulated them, but because he had built trust step by step. He understood their problem. He showed he was with them, not above them. He cast a vision for what's possible. He proves this could actually work. And then he invites them to act. That's the pattern, hermana. You can't ask people to invest in your solution until they believe you understand their problem. You cannot cast vision until they trust you for them, not just try to sell them. You cannot invite action until they've seen proof that your way actually works. This is not manipulation. This is wisdom. This is how trust is built. And it is exactly what most entrepreneurs skip. They go straight to buy my thing without even doing the work Nehemiah did. Surveying, understanding, standing with, proving, and then inviting. No wonder people don't say yes. Let's break this down practically. I am going to call this the trust timeline, and it has 4 stages. Every single person who will ever buy from you has to walk these 4 stages. There are no shortcuts, there are no hacks. This is how human beings make decisions about who to trust with their money. Miss any stage and you'll probably wonder why people won't buy. Get it right and sales become natural. Stage 1, discovery. They discover literally that you exist. This is the moment when somebody first comes aware of you. They stumble across your Instagram reel. Somebody forwards their email. They hear about you from a friend of church. They find your podcast episode. At this stage, they don't know you. They don't trust you. They're just aware that you exist. Think about it like walking down a busy street. You pass hundreds of stores. Most of them you don't even notice. But occasionally, one catches your eye. Maybe it's the window display, maybe it's something someone said about it, but for whatever reason, you become aware it exists. That's it. That's stage 1. Just awareness. Now, what you need to do at this stage is be visible. Create content that gets discovered. Show up when your people already are. Make it easy for people to find you. The mistake most women make here is they think that discovery equals trust. They see someone follow them and immediately they start pitching. Hermana, they literally just passed your store. They have not even come inside, so don't hand them a receipt. Stage 2, connection. They decide you understand them. This is where things get interesting. At this stage, they are not just aware of you. They're starting to pay attention. They're consuming your content. They're reading your captions. They're listening to your podcast. They're watching how you show up. And they're asking one question. Does she get me? Does she understand my struggle? Does she know what my family life actually looks like? Does she speak my language, not just Spanish or English, but the language of my heart, my fears, my dreams? This is where relatability really matters. This is where your story matters. This is where showing up as a real human being with failures and fears and messy moments actually builds connection. When someone thinks she gets me, they move from casual observer to engaged follower. So what you need at this stage is you to share your story. Talk about the struggles you face, the same ones they're facing. Describe their situation so they can think that you'll read their diary. Show them you've walked their path. Now, the mistake most women make here is that they stay surface level. They post generic tips without even getting vulnerable. They teach what to do without ever acknowledging how hard this is. And their audience thinks she doesn't really understand what I'm going through. Stage 3, credibility. They believe you can help them. Now they're thinking, okay, she understands me, but can she actually help me? This is where proof matters. Results, testimonials, case studies, your own transformation. They need to see evidence that what you teach actually works. That's the path where you're offering leads to somewhere real. This does not mean that you need 500 testimonials or a multi-million dollar case study. It means you need to show them that your method produces results. So remember in episode 14, I told about Maria who made 2,600 with just 100 email subscribers? That's proof. Carmen, who sold out her coaching in 48 hours with 1,200 subscribers? That's proof. I went on Instagram yesterday, a couple weeks ago. If you're listening to this episode, which I'm pre-recording by the way, but about how a lady in Cuba, Jolenix, made her first $10. And then Monica in Argentina, 25. And this is amazing because with only 12 episodes, with only 12 exercises, there are women out there doing the exercises, doing the homework, making sure that they follow the step-by-step that I'm putting out for free for you, and they are getting result. That is proof. At this stage, they're not just consuming your content anymore, they're evaluating it. They're asking, could this work for me too? So what you need to do at this stage is share results. Tell stories of transformation, yours and others. Give them free resources that deliver real value so they can experience your teaching firsthand. Let them taste what working with you is like. Now, the mistake that most Latinpreneurs make here is that they either don't share enough proof, leaving people wondering if their method actually works, or they share proof that does not resonate. If your audience is just starting out, showing a 7-figure case study might actually intimidate them instead of inspiring them. Meet them where they are. Stage 4, commitment. They are ready to take action. This is literally the moment of decision. They've discovered you. They feel understood by you. They believe you can help them. Now they're asking, is this the right time for me? This is where urgency matters, and not fake urgency, not manipulation, but real clarity about why now is the time to act. Maybe they're feeling the pain of their current situation acutely. Maybe they just got paid and have budget available. Maybe something shifted in their life that made them think, I can't keep doing this the same way. At this stage, your job is to invite them clearly and make it an easy yes. So what you need at this stage is to make a clear offer. Remove friction from buying process. Address objections. Help them see what's possible on the other side of yes. Now, what Latinpreneur women usually do, and it is commonly a mistake, it's a common mistake, is they never actually ask. They hint, they hope, they drop subtle mentions, but they never clearly say, here's my offers, here's what you get, here's how to buy. Hermana, people cannot say yes to something that you never directly offer. So let me ask you, where are most of the people in your audience right now? Are they at stage 1? They just discovered you? Stage 2, they're starting to connect? Stage 3, they're evaluating whether you can help? Or are they in stage 4 when they are ready to decide? Because here's the key. You need different content for different stages. If you're only creating Stage 4 content. Buy my thing. Here's my offer. Limited time only. But most of your audience is in stage 1 or 2. They're not ready to hear that yet. And if you're only creating stage 1 content, tips and tricks and surface level help, you're never moving them towards the sale. You need content for every stage. Now, let me be direct with you about the most common mistakes I see with my clients. The first mistake is that they ask for the sale too early. This is literally the most common. Someone follows you on Instagram on Monday, and by Tuesday, you are in their DMs pitching your product. Hermana, that's like proposing marriage on the first date. It doesn't matter how great you are, they're just not ready. People need time to walk through the stages. Discovery to connection to credibility to commitment. You cannot skip stages. Now, the mistake number 2 that I see is that they never ask for the sale. And this is so common as well, particularly with my Latina sisters. This is the opposite problem, and it's so common, especially among Christian Latinas, which are my people. You create beautiful content, you serve generously, you help people for free over and over again, but you never actually make an offer. You're afraid of being salesy or pushy, so you just hope people will figure out how to pay you. Here's the truth. If you never invite people to take the next step, they won't. They'll stay in stage 2 or stage 3 forever. They will consume your content, feel inspired, and then go pay somewhere else who is actually asking for the sale. The mistake 3, they create content for only one stage. Some women, some of you right now, are only creating discovery content, tips, tricks, entertaining reels. Great for getting new followers, terrible for converting them into buyers. Other women only create sales content. Buy this, join this, limited time offer. Great for the small percentage who are already alienating for everybody else. You need a mix. You need content that helps people at every stage of the journey. Mistake 4, assuming everybody is at the same stage. Your audience is not one person. It's hundreds, maybe thousands of individuals at different stages of your journey. Someone who discovered you yesterday is at a completely different place than someone who's been following for 2 years. The person who's already reading every email, downloading every freebie, and attending every live, she's ready for an offer. The person who just found your podcast last week, she needs more time. You are not talking to only one person. You're leading people at different stages of the same journey. I know this is so much, but it is so important for you to understand and start figuring out where your people are. So here's your micro win for this week. And I want one action, one step, one moment of clarity. I want you to go to latinpreneurs.com/the vault and grab that customer journey map worksheet. It's specifically created for this episode. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to write the 4 stages at the top of your paper: discovery, connection, credibility, commitment. And then under each stage, you're going to write down a piece of content you've created that serves people at that stage. You need to have something for people at each stage, or you're going to find out that you might be heavy in some areas and empty on others. The customer journey map at latinpreneurs.com/the vault will help you figure it out. You're going to identify your biggest gap, what is missing, and then you're going to think about one person in your audience and how this journey might look for her now. This exercise takes 15 minutes and it will completely change how you think and how you create content strategically. You will stop creating random content and start creating strategic content. Content that meets people where they are and moves them forward. The women who understand this, the women who create for every stage of the journey, they're the ones who will convert followers into customers naturally, without being pushy, without manipulation, just by serving people at every stage. Now, here's what I want you to understand about what we just covered. This trust timeline, these 4 stages, this is just the beginning. Because once you see this invisible path, the next question becomes, what kind of content do I create for each stage? How do I know when somebody is ready to move forward? How do I build a system that guides people through the journey automatically? That's the whole strategy, hermana. That's what separates women who post and pray for women who build sustainable businesses. And that's exactly what I'm planning to teach step by step in my complete system. But for now, I want you to start with this exercise. I want you to map your content, find your gaps, see where your audience actually is, because awareness is the first step to strategy, hermana. I know the frustration of doing everything right and still not get sales. I know the self-doubt that creeps in, the questions, the wondering if you're just not cut for this digital business thing. But now you know the truth. There is an invisible path, and now you can see it. Discovery, connection, credibility, commitment. Meet your people where they are. Serve them at every stage. Guide them forward with patience and purpose. And when the time is right, when they've walked the journey, the sales will become natural, expected, even welcome. That's the difference between pushing and leading. And hermana, you were made to lead. So head over to latinpreneurs.com/the vault right now, download the customer journey mapper, and start building a business that converts followers into customers, not through pressure, not through manipulation, but through trust. Because when women of faith, Latinas of faith, create wealth with purpose, families change, communities rise, and the kingdom advances. Next week, I'm going to show you how to create content for each stage of the journey, the frameworks that move people from stranger to paying customers. You won't want to miss it. Follow the show, rate it if it helped, and until next time, keep building with freedom, clarity, and without compromise. I'm Salime. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.